in the center right, a finalist of the GSL Code S.
I am Lushira.
Crack in his neck. Got to get those neck cracks out there. Play too much StarCraft, you can end up with some creep tumors in your shoulder. You don't want that. I get all the creep tumors in my upper right shoulder. It's terrible.
Yeah, I get them there too.
The upper left corner, our Terran player. We haven't seen much of him. New nerd on the block. He is.
You know, I don't just get creep tumors on my upright shoulder. I also sometimes get spore crawlers, which is really
that's
annoying.
Pretty bad.
Every time I go to an airport, I have to unburrow them, or I'm going to shoot down the planes.
We'll be sure to unburrow them before we go to MLG. By the way, in case that was news to you, what we just said, we will be at MLG. So come on down, check us out. Check out MLG, great event.
Indeed it is.
Now,
well, Lucira definitely going to be going for a hatch first play. Very standard, very common. And we have a double barracks coming from Jack G. So I would not actually be surprised if he just stays very aggressive with this. Seriously, how often do we see Lucira lose a hatch? Every time Lucira comes out, in one game he'll lose a hatch. That's actually how it goes. He just doesn't defend these often, and people know it, and they do it to him. So I'm not surprised that Jack G's going for this. You know, it's not too long a rush distance.
Yes, basically Lucira's a guy who he's good at bouncing back from stuff, unlike Nesty, where Nesty never really seems to experience what a disadvantage is like. He's like disadvantages. I think I've read about those in books and stuff, but I don't know what
he says. I may have the disadvantage in drones and economy and army, but I have the advantage in Zergling speed. And it's like, what, Nesty? And he's like, yeah, watch this, and he kills SC Foyu on Crossfire.
Yes.
It's like, okay. No, Nesty doesn't lose hatches though.
No, he does not.
Lucira does. And we'll have to see if that happens here. Greens are on the way. The pool is just about to finish. This rush may be coming just a little bit too late. 6 Zerglings being produced. He actually doesn't really have a lot of time, but he can always rally and run way back, then come back up with enough to keep forcing Zerglings, which can be useful. But I feel like this right here, if he stays right here, I don't like that. There's too many Zerglings coming too quickly from Lucira.
At times, I do wonder, because Lucira, the way he handles rush just sometimes seems a little bit off.
Yeah.
I don't think the IM team and the training actually rushes each other that much. But yeah, this rush here from Jockey, is just not. This is just a poorly timed rush. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, he's losing a lot of Marines here, and he's going to lose even more. Lucira is actually gaining a gigantic lead right this second.
And the funny thing is that the Terran isn't rallying the Marines back to his base. He's actually just rallying into this rush.
You know, in a scenario like this, what you want to do is, oh, there's Zerglings out, or there's Zerglings coming. I see all these eggs pop up suddenly. Those aren't drones, buddy. Those are Zerglings. What you do is you take all of your units, you run way back, you have a couple more rounds of Marines, because in the early game, if you can force a ton of Zerglings, that's actually a way to get ahead. And when you actually have a decent-sized clump of Marines, let's say you wait for 8 Marines and then go, even if he has 14 Zerglings, you can out-micro that easily and go ahead and kill them all. So it gets exponentially harder for slow Zerglings to kill Marines. It's only at these low numbers that we just saw that Zerg comes out ahead in these battles. So gigantic errors here by Jack G. Really kind of letting Hoso down, I think.
Lucira is not the player you want to screw up the start of the game against. Because oftentimes we see Lucira bouncing back from disadvantages, but right now, Terran is a little bit behind.
Yeah, certainly.
And again, guys, that was actually a pretty novice error that we saw from the Terran, is rallying into a bunch of Zerglings that are killing your Marines.
You have to run away, man. I mean, that rush was not quick enough. The bunker was never going to be made.
I felt like...
And even if he was ignorant of the timing of the pool in the main, he saw eggs pop up at the expansion, and you know what those eggs are. That's not an Overlord. That's not drones.
Well, here's the, you know what that looked like when he was doing that rush? It looked like they had like a little baton. They had to get back to the Terran base that was in the Zerg space, and the Marine would just catch up and be like, all right, pass it on before the Lynx kill me.
Wow. You're very right, Tasteless. Good work.
I had that image in my mind, and you were talking, and I started giggling to myself.
I'm sorry. I was going too in-depth.
No, it's okay.
I'll never do it again. Everyone's like, no! Tasteless. All
Two
right,
factories.
Yeah, I mean, this is a decent way to try to come back. I don't know if it's going to work,
It's a little
man.
gimmicky. I don't know.
Well, you know, Lucira's used to this type of thing. Hellions are so in vogue right now.
They are so in right now.
They are tasteless. They are the fall colors are blue and red.
It's not like wearing white after Labor Day.
No,
God forbid.
don't want to do that. You don't want to be a fool. You don't want people to think you're a fool.
You're going to be a laughing stock.
Nah. All right, so we do have 2 factory Blue Flame Hellions being made. The expansion going down. That's a Baneling nest right over there. Spire has just begun. Lucira I mean, this is very standard, very solid, very smart. The 3 S's of Lucira.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah. You like that?
I like that. Lucira's creeps, by the way, getting really good.
Yeah,
I love how Zergs are actually always doing this now.
Yeah, except for July Zerg. But
oh yeah, that's a good point. He actually struggles with that. I think it's because he's so StarCraft 1.
Yeah, he doesn't care about that. He's like, no, I have other stuff to do with my APM. But it's almost 400 real APM. Oh my god. All right, so we do have a bunch of Marines moving out. The Blue Flame Hellions are way behind right now. I think he's trying to make it so that no Zerglings see the Blue Flames coming, and beautiful scan taking out a lot of this creep.
He's got to be careful here. Okay, now Zerg knows, so whatever reaction Zerg's going to have to this, we're going to see it pretty soon. Now, I don't know if he's going to go in with this or if this is just a technique he uses to clean up all the creep and send the Zerg back into the Stone Age.
The 2 Spine Crawlers are actually going to prove very problematic. If there was just one there, or if one was like a little bit behind so that you could abuse range of Marines, then it might be much easier for him. But as is, we have 5 meters on the way. Speed is almost done for Zerglings. Baneling's speed is halfway done. This attack is not going to work. He knows it. He's withdrawn. And Jack G, I don't know what he can... I mean, the supplies are the same. 54 drones and 43 SCVs, it's not that bad. But Lucira is well ahead right here. Better tech, you know, better awareness of what's going on.
Spinecrawler's moving out now. Burrowing up farther in the front. He wants to make sure any more creatures.
That would have been good timing, but it would have been a trap as well, Tasteless.
All right, nice control here by the Hellions. Yeah, he wants to make sure those creep tumors more in the middle of the map are protected.
Well, we do have the 3rd base going up for Lucira.
Do you really think, I want your opinion on this, Arctosis, because I'm starting to question some of these strategies. These techniques like that where he's going to move out and kill all the creep tumors, after the guy goes away, he can just plant all the creep tumors back before the creep's gone.
You know, a lot of it has to do with how many queens you have, and, ooh, nice estimate. But yeah, a lot of it has to do with how many queens you have, but I think you have to do it. You know, if he just removed, like, 12 creep tumors, that's going to take a while for Lucira to get back up there, especially when you realize if he has that many, he's been using his queen energy very, very well. And you have to slow it. If he hadn't done that, the creep would be over near his natural, almost, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good question. I feel definitely something every Terran should be doing.
Now we have the Mutas moving around the map. Looks like they're not going to really be able to get in there. Curious as to when Terry's going to take his 3rd base here. Whoa,
man.
Missed micro there.
Yeah, you don't want to lose 2 mutas to do like 5 damage to some Marines. That's not how you do it.
He got pulled in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, Lucira getting up his Evos. I love the double Evo timing. Start getting those Zergling upgrades really going. Burrow is almost done for him as well, so he's kind of going all out, Tasteless. He's getting really ready to own.
Well, he's... Oh, excuse me. Terran is now moving out.
I like that Jackchi scans there, realizing that, hey, Burrow might be done. I'm not going to take any risks. That's a very safe move by him. And Lucira is the type of player that will absolutely burrow Banelings.
Scanning.
Nice
Queen going down. Siege mode up. This push is pretty scary, actually.
Yeah, this is a great timing for this push. I mean, he got those quick 2 factories, so he's been able to make 4 siege tanks go so quickly. And, ooh, moving 1 up at a time. I'm loving that. If you unsiege all of them, that gives a timing for Lucira to run in and kill you. But moving up very slowly is going to make it harder on these Banelings. Lucira right now is setting up a flank with his Zerglings. That should help a lot. But it's a very small flank, it looks like. In fact, it's going to just turn into a counterattack. And he might actually end up losing this base.
Yeah, he might actually end up losing this game. We'll see, though. Here come the Banelings. Mutas and Zerglings moving in here. But Terran's spread is pretty sexy.
Yeah, that was very nice by Jack G. And Now you see one of the reasons why, well, we have a Zergling counterattack first, and that's actually doing a pretty good job so far.
Whoa, we just
Oops.
caught the tail end of that hit. And with that Baneling mine going off, that actually managed to save the hatchery. I really didn't expect Lucera to survive.
Yeah, I thought
that,
Lucera would lose that base.
Yeah.
And, that's one of the reasons pushes like that are so hard to stop on this map. One of the reasons Zergs don't like this map that much. But that was greatly done by Lucera. He does end up holding. And from there, I mean, look at the supply difference now. 127 to 72. And
this is the danger, generally speaking, of doing a 2-base timing push.
Yes.
If it fails, by all circumstances, you should lose the game because you've lost the majority of your army. Marines can be remade. Tanks take a while to come out because they're coming out in increments. You generally have 1 or 2 factories. So, after that, it's like, well, what do you do? I mean, we see he's going to go for a drop, but Mulisks are already out on the map, so...
Yeah, drops are not going to be too effective, I don't think. We also have a 3rd command center going down for him. Lucera, in the meantime, taking that 4th base, just re-spreading his creep. He just stays on top of it. I'm loving that. And Lucera's just... I don't see Lucera losing to anyone in the world ever from this position. It's just... The first phase of the rush failed terribly. The second phase of the rush did nothing. And now the 2-base timing attack was crushed without losing too much.
It seems like when you do these 2-base timing attacks, you really do need to focus the shots on the hatchery.
Yeah,
you need to get rid of that thing fast. Because
get in, get out scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, of course, is difficult because if you do just right-click on it, then the Banelings can
Yeah, exactly. That's one Baneling a shot, or one shot on the Baneling, so you're not going to get up. But you can see right now, the Zerg desperately trying to save his hatchery in time. He might just have to cancel that and send stuff down there again.
Yeah, he does.
Nice.
Canceling. So that's a small victory.
Talk about canceling at the last millisecond there.
Yeah. Lucera gets the most out of everything tasteless.
And as you can see, he's tracking the medevac now.
The one Mutilus not able to take it out. The rest are, though. Well, Jack G is in so much trouble right now. I'll give you some stats. 46 SCVs against 78 drones. We have only 6 Siege Chinks out, 1 Medevac, 1 Hellion, and then 30 Marines. In the meantime, 80-plus Zerglings, 40-plus Banes, and 17 Mutas. That is not an army that Jack G can really deal with.
He's going to try to secure this expansion and make a planetary. I think that's the best he can do. I don't know if it's going to work, though, because I think with Zerg now being maxed out, there's no reason to not just throw his entire army at the Terran. End this right now.
And look at that, trying to head off those Marines so they can't run out of Baneling
Oh my
range.
God.
And at this point, Lucera doesn't care what the Banelings kill. He's got enough for everything.
That
And
should be GG.
yeah, I mean, he has nothing left, man. That is going to be it for sure. Jack G should be GG in just a moment. There you go.
Lucera making his Zerglings dance.
He has a little bit of a nickname, like a dancing Zerg or something in Korea because of that time he did it to Bomber.
Oh, he's saying no, 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 no. And that is going to do it there.
Lucera fell to the up and down matches, but showing incredible might.
This guy is a nerd bender.
Yeah,
he's a nerd bender,
man.
Sometimes a nerd breaker.
Just made me think of the Futurama robot, and I was like, what?
Sometimes he's a nerd bouncer. He bounces the nerds.
Dribbles the nerds between his legs.
Yeah.
Dunks the nerds.
Spins him on his finger.
That's right. Hits a home run with the nerds with his baseball bat.
Yeah, even though the nerd is a basketball, he's that strong. He
Kicks a touchdown with the nerd.
Yeah.
Hole-in-ones the nerd with a golf club.
He does an ollie with the nerd.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you got to be careful if you do a 2-base timing attack. That is not an attack that you can...
Well, a 2-base, it's going out of style. For a while, it was like the big thing, but as players get better, it tends more towards macro, and you have to actually continually expand and poke and prod and find places where your opponent messes up, rather than say, oh, I hoped you mess up in this way, I'm going to punish you if you did, but if you didn't and you're good, I'm never going to do anything to you.
Some of these pushes that people are doing, it's like stuff you can get away with on the ladder. It's like, I want to win games quickly. I know my opponent's not as good as me. You can't do something like that against Lucera, especially not after that failed rush.
I understand, though, in this scenario why he did it. His original 2 barracks play was so poorly executed, did nothing. It got him way behind.
He said, maybe I've got one shot.
He says, you know what? I'm just going to go for an all-in. Forget it.
I would have, well, I mean, I don't know what I would have done because I'm not in the booth, but it seems like maybe you should just try to turtle, go for some harass or something. rather than a push like that. I thought the push was going to work too. It seems like there was one. We caught the tail end of it. This one really good Baneling hit.
Yeah.
It melted all the Marines.
That's quite true. Well, Lucira continues his reign of terror, Tasteless.
Who are they going to pick out now? Do they go
it's
with
hard.
San? Because San seems to be more like the PVT expert to me. Do they go with...
San's PVZ is really quite good, too. But
it's good,
we
but
haven't seen it since the new breed of Zerg, so I'm not so sure about that. And Lucira's been just pretty unstoppable this far. I might just put out Seal because, you're going for an all-kill at this point if you want to win. You want some points.
We're going to see. He might pull out a bucket of fish, and Seal's going to be going... Arf, 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 arf. Is it going to be Seal?
Will he do some tricks? If it is...
Oop.
Oh, wait, it's this guy.
That's not Seal. He can't balance the ball on his nose. That's Shuttle.
Ah. You know what's really, really funny? Is there is a StarCraft 1 pro gamer that goes by the ID Shuttle, and he's like the shortest StarCraft 1 pro gamer, and now we have a StarCraft 2 pro gamer that goes by the ID Shuttle, and I think he's actually the shortest StarCraft 2 pro gamer.
Oh yeah,
Shuttle is a name for short pro gamers.
of Shuttles from StarCraft 1. I casted some of his games.
He was unbelievably short, yeah. And here we have this guy,
but
man.
he was fast.
He was quick, yeah.
He was quick. So that's it. The power that the short guys have.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
We're over 6 foot, so we're big, but we're slow.
That's true.
But they're short and fast.
If you're big and they're small, then they're slow and you're fast, so something like that. Anyways.
What? Did you say I'm slow and I'm fast? Or Toast, do you just want to start this cast over, man?
Yeah, could we? Shuttle is a Terran player. It's going to be his first time ever playing in the GSL.
Shuttle looks like he's talking to God right now in this camera shot as he looks up. Now, Shuttle, this guy's got a lot of pressure on him. I don't know exactly what NSH is.
I think this is a throwaway. I think they said, you know what? We're not actually winning against Siam.
Let's give Shuttle some experience.
Exactly.
Or maybe Shuttle is going to be a sick nerd assassin.
I'm going to go with what I said.
I'm just trying to build suspense here, Artosis. Now we have this guy. We haven't seen much of him. I don't know exactly what to expect.
Yeah.
The map's Metalopolis. And we're going to have a quick little break, so don't go too far away. We'll be back here with Lucira against Shuttle here at the GSL Team.